Greetings, everyone. Staying in the light here. And Spirit told me I don't need an audience. I'm just to put this out here, and the audience will come. Yeah, many people are here who will be coming. It's not that I'm ahead of my time, it's just that some people are behind time. They haven't caught up yet. We're going to give a brief overview of your Declaration of Identity. Once you've done the research and found out who you are, if you haven't done that, shame, shame, shame. Your ancestors were prohibited from doing it under pains of death. They had to give up the language, their cultural dress, everything that associated with their culture, identity was taken away systematically. Now, generations later, most of you have no idea your origin. But there's no excuse today because you do the work, you can find out. It's work now, it's not easy. But you ask the Creator to assist you, you will find it. Thank y'all. I see y'all agree with that. Yeah, it's gonna take time now. I started mine when I was a teenager. Because I learned much as I could from my family, my grandparents, my great grandparents. But they gave me enough to do my search. So I'm just going to read you some of the things we share with people in a private society who are claiming their declaration of identity, whatever they may be. We are a people of divine origin whose spiritual culture and genealogical inheritance predates the existence of modern states. That we trace our identities not through imposed labels, but through ancestral continuities and memory and sacred covenants. That our nation is our religion in the original and external sense, a way of life, law, ecology, ritual, and moral code preserved from generations to generations. This includes our own cultural, educational, legal, health, and spiritual systems, routed in divine law, not colonial administration. We hold the rights inherent to our self-identity, self-governed, and self-determination according to the laws of nature and the divine order. This right is affirmed by the United States Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People and Universal Declaration of Human Rights. But we don't depend on them for legitimacy. We're formally a political body governed by sacred law and ancestral wisdom to manage and collectively our affairs, protect our people, and establish diplomatic relations with other people and nations of the earth. So these things we talk about take generations. It's not something to be accomplished overnight. You have to get started. You have to have your goals in mind, what you want to accomplish. And we affirm that our land, language, and children and our memory are not for sale, seizure, or erasure. We stand in eternal trust with the law of earth and the Most High. We herefore establish this declaration as a living record of our sacred identity, rights, and origin. We stand not as petitioners, but as rememberers. We carry the rhythm of the first civilizations in our homes and bones, and this is the rhythm by which we now govern ourselves. There's a lot more to it. I just want to give y'all an overview of what we do here in Staying in the Light Society. Okay? Any questions, any comments? Hi, greetings in the chat. Oh, what? No penny for review messages. That's odd. Usually there's 2 or 3 penning for review messages. And what that means is somebody tried to curse me out. But we're getting less and less of that. Because whether you know it or not, your vibration's being raised. Even with the always something shocking news to rob you of your, it's really to rob you of your vibration, to keep you in a low vibration. In other words, it's a manner of controls. If you focus on negative news, then you can't be focused on higher energies. You won't be receptive to higher energies. Now, in a couple of days, you're going to expect on the 8th of August, it's a very big energy surge. It calls the Lion's Gate. A lot of energy being released. And physically, if you see this energy release in the form of earthquakes around the globe. Now you can tap in and harness some of that energy, but you got to be vibrating high. So you're going to see these distractions come up to lower your vibrations, so you will not be able to tune in to the energies. Remember that frequency I introduced the lesson with most of the time? It's a tuner. It's to tune you in to the frequency of healing. Because most of us are sick. So if I can just tune you in a little bit, then you can hear the message. Oh, somebody writing something. Let's see what they say. Not trying to curse you out, but what do you expect other races to say here? Well, I say find your own community. This is not for everyone. This is a private bill, if you will. You're welcome to stay and listen. This is for indigenous people. And we don't say nothing negative about non-indigenous. We just speak the truth about who we are. We're claiming our identity that's been taken from us. We are past blame, accusing, wanting you to pay us. We don't talk about that here. We talk about who we are. So really, it has nothing to do with you. Yeah, it has nothing to do with you. So I appreciate your question. What are you to do here? Well, if you don't see where you fit in, then there's nowhere you can get in. There's an old saying we have in the community: get in where you fit in. So since you see yourself as a colonizer of the races, see, even that term race, we don't even use that term. We know that's a social construct. There's only one race, that's the human race. So people who use that term race, they believe that some races are superior and some races are inferior. We don't believe that. We can tell who are with us by the terms they use. We don't believe in those terms. See, those are terms created by the colonizers to keep people separated. Race. Then you can say racism. There ain't no such thing as racism. There's good and there's evil. If it's not something to empower someone, heal someone, then it's destructive. So we don't need all these fancy made up words to use them that don't really mean anything. But I'm thankful for your question, because I'm sure other people hear this tape and they see they will answer the question that you've asked. And I appreciate your not cursing me out. Because all this shows is ignorance. People do that. So I appreciate you. And I can really understand now why people are upset when they come here, because you say, what? It has nothing to do with me here? Well, yeah, no offense. We are, and you should be happy to say, oh man, these people are finally getting it together. They're not trying to integrate. They're trying to do their own thing. They're trying to lift themselves up by their own bootstraps. They believe in self-determination. You should be happy to see that, because nobody's going to be dependent all their lives. I mean, maybe for generations, but at some point, people got to wake up and say, wait a minute. Why do I have to do that? Why do I have to ask somebody for a job? Something wrong with that. Shouldn't I be creating jobs in my community? That's what everybody else does. So you just refuse to be dumbed down. You just say, wait a minute, why am I watching these people on TV being insulted day and time again? Why watch that? Why watch yourself being insulted? There's something wrong with you. So just stop watching it and say, well, I know what's wrong. We have to create our own programs. You have to create everything that you want as a society, and you can't depend on somebody else to create it for you. See, that's the lie civil rights was about. That you're supposed to force yourself to integrate to another people, force them to recognize you. And that don't make no sense. First off, nobody likes being forced to do anything. So if you're forced to integrate, that's going to be a pushback, because the people can always say, rightfully so, we never invited you in our community. Yes, and they're right. So don't never force yourself anywhere. I guess I'm different because I have a different culture background. My parents told me who I was at a very young age. And we've never really been a part of this systematic Negro, black, color thing. Anyway, I hope that answers your question, and thank you for asking it. Like I said, come time for people got to do for themselves, as other people do. Okay, so we're going to end it right here, and we'll talk again tomorrow. Times at 10 a.m. in the morning, 5 p.m. in the evening, and 10 again at night. And vibrate high with the white healing vibrations. Let me get you started.